about a week or two of 20-degree weather, low 20s, like 20, 22 degrees. We had it for like 4 or 5 days, and then we got a little bit break, and then we got it again. So that's enough for this battery heater to come on. I will not turn on any heat in the camper during that period of time. I'm just going to see if the battery can sustain itself. Epoch said that it does, that it has heaters, and it's warranted, so we'll see how it's going to work. Hi, it's Jerry, and if you remember back in November of last year, we evaluated the Epoch or Epoch, however you want to pronounce that, their 12-volt, 300 amp hour V2 battery. This battery is a B65 pounds of 300 amps, heated Bluetooth, Victron comms, a great battery. And late December into January, we went to spend some Christmas with some family. It was about an 800-mile trip. The battery performed flawlessly. We were very, very pleased with its performance. It's first time out on the road since we had installed it. And then we came back into Middle Georgia again, and we had some issues that had come up, and we had to take care of that. Now everybody's well, everybody's doing fine, no issues going forward, and we're going to be able to go back out on the road. But as a result of that, we had 8 weeks of downtime that we could not travel. Now during that period of time through February, we had colder weather than what we typically experience in this part of the state. So we decided we would give it the ultimate test and see if this battery really did have low temperature disconnect and if the heaters actually did work. We turned no pedestal power off, we didn't turn our solar off. We just decided if this battery was going to work, it was going to work in both hot climates and very cold climates. And our cold was down into the 20 degrees, the low 20s for about a 2-week period. For us, that is really, really cold. And the thing about lithium, you cannot charge them below 32 degrees or you will severely damage these batteries. We left shore power on, we left solar power on, and we just let it go. So even on today, this morning we got up, it was down into the 30s again. We still haven't kind of come out of that cold temperature. It's damp, overcast, and what I decided to do was give you an update. We've had so many people commenting on YouTube of just going, okay, we've looked at your battery, it looked great, it does all the things that we want it to do, but does it really have low temperature disconnect? Do the heaters really work? Well, yes, they do. And again, I took no power off of this. I was going to let the BMS of the battery do what it was supposed to do. And if we damaged the battery, we damaged it. So the good news is it is working great, and I am going to prove it. So what I'm going to do today is I have killed shore power. I'm going to turn a bunch of things on. Let me kind of give you the setup here. You'll see this is the way the battery is installed. Above the battery, I have a 2,000 watt Magnum inverter. So that is our environment as far as providing power when we're on lithium only and nothing else. I do have 240 watts of solar, which gives me a decent trickle charge into the battery for our travels off the road. It's not perfect for boondocking, but usually it replaces what we use on a sunny day if we're traveling from point A to point B. I'm going to leave that on, even though we'll go outside and look. I'm going to show you the Bluetooth app on Epoch or Epoch, however you want to say that. I'm going to show you the Bluetooth app and just show you the state of the battery from Epoch's view. And then I will also show you what we have on our Victron shunt and on the solar charger that we have. And I pretty much think that we're going to have 0 watts coming in. Again, it's just cloudy, overcast, damp. We're not going to get much. So I'm going to turn a bunch of stuff on. I'm going to let that run for several hours. Refrigerator is key because that's what runs this residential refrigerator from GE. We'll go back here and turn that on. I'm going to turn a few other things on just so that I can get some amperage burn. I'll turn the TV on, a few other things, and just let that run for a while. I will probably come back tomorrow. I don't think I'll run the TV, but maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. And then I will come back tomorrow and we'll just see where we're at. And we'll just take this battery down to maybe about 15 to 20% and see what the overall performance is. Or when we come back tomorrow, it won't be working at all if we damaged it from the cold. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Let's go outside and just see what the state of the battery is right now. So here we are. Let's look. We're looking at the Epoch app, and this gives me exactly where we're at right now at 100%. You see we're at 14.5 volts. I don't think I've got much discharge at this time. I don't have anything turned on, but we'll look at that. Let's look at the temps of the battery. They're 57 to 60 degrees there roughly. And we can look at the cells. All 4 cells in the battery are very, very well balanced. So we're in a great spot to go ahead and start our testing. Let's get out of this and look at our Victron app. We'll look at the smart shunt, make sure that it's synchronized and properly set up. So we're currently at 100% on the Victron app. And you see our voltage is good here on the shunt. So there's no draw. I don't have anything turned on yet. We're going to do that here in just a second. And it's a crummy day outside. Let's look at our solar input. It's going to be basically nothing. So watts coming in, exactly what I expected. It's cloudy, it's overcast, it's cold, it's damp. We don't have anything. So I'm not going to expect this today or tomorrow in our testing. We're supposed to have this for 2 days. Okay, let's get stuff turned on. So I'm going to leave the Roku soundbar going. I've got it muted right now, but I'll turn the sound off once I finish, get the video stopped. And then right behind me, right at the very, very top, I have a Cradle Point cellular router. So the way I'm getting the internet in here is that cellular router's running. So that's going to be pulling a drain on the battery. I've got lights on. I'm going to leave the lights on for a period of time. So I think what I'll do is just kind of leave this TV and lights, just kind of the way we'll be leaving. The refrigerator will never turn off. And I'm going to let that run for, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. Then I'll turn that off. We'll do a check on the battery. And then we're just going to let it run and just see how long it will sustain that refrigerator for a period of time. So I think, I think that's a good test, don't you? Let's look at the app real quick. I'm going to look at both the BMS and our shunt and see how it looks. So this is saying 75% of capacity left. Let's look at the shunt and just see how close the shunt is to the battery BMS. And we're looking here at the shunt. We'll see if we're close. Yeah, we're within 1%. That's pretty awesome. So we're just 1% difference between the shunt and so forth. And look at the voltage here. So after, what is this? A little around 5 hours or so, a refrigerator, TV, lights, all that type of stuff running. We've only used 25%. Battery voltage is awesome. Look at that, 3.01 volts, 13 volts. That's pretty good. And you can see how much capacity we've consumed so far, 78 amp hours over this period of time. Not too bad. Okay. How about that? 75% battery left. Shunt says 74. If I can get within 1% of the BMS and the shunt, hey, that means my wiring is perfect. So I'm real happy with that. And that is running TV all day long. Well, for this period of test, TV running, Roku soundbar running, refrigerator running. And again, I was unfair with the way I did the refrigerator. I should have brought it up to temp, but that's okay. That's okay. We wanted really to simulate stress on this battery. Now, I'll mention this. If this battery was diminished at all, in other words, during these couple weeks where we were in the 20s, I think even one night we were down to 18, 19 degrees, if anything would have happened the following day to where solar would have dumped any power or attempted to dump any power into the battery, or worse than that, this 75 amp converter charger that we have that would hooked up to pedestal power, if it would have tried to dump a bunch of amperage into that battery, then we would have ruined those lithium cells. But I think what we're seeing now is that this battery is in perfect condition. There was either A, the heaters came on, this is a heated battery, or B, the low temperature disconnect was involved. Either one of those actions could have occurred to protect that battery. We would not have seen this type of performance, at least in this 5-ish plus hours that we have been running. So I think what we'll do now is we're going to bed. I'm going to turn the lights off here. No need to keep those on. I'm going to leave the refrigerator running. I'm going to let it run. I'm going to come back, I don't know, before lunch tomorrow, and we'll just check and see how things are going. Depending on how much battery capacity we have left, I might do some other things as well, just to see, again, how well this battery, put some surge on it, see what we can do. Get some higher wattage devices on the inverter to make the battery work a little bit harder. Okay, let's do that. I have an accessory outlet right over here that's for the kitchen. We can do things like coffee pot and toaster, stuff like that. No need to run the TV and all that type of stuff going. I'm going to leave the refrigerator running. We also have an accessory jack up in the, or accessory plug up in the bedroom. We run fans sometimes on it, those types of things. But I'm not going to do anything like a hairdryer or anything like that. But maybe a coffee pot, maybe a toaster. We'll just see how it does. All right. All right. We're going to let it run all night long. I'll see you sometime lunch tomorrow. All right, let's see. It's 11:30 in the morning. So I left you last night at a little after 7:30, almost a quarter till 8. So it's been running all night long. Refrigerator, no lights, none of that type of stuff. Let's look at the BMS. Let's look at the Victron shunt and just see what that looks like. We're not even down to 50%, and we've really put this thing through the paces. Still have 13.2 volts on the battery. That's awesome. 53% capacity. Let's look at the battery temps. Battery temps are fantastic. Again, it's in the storage bay, but not enough for the heaters to come on. 50 degrees. Let's just call it 50 degrees on the sails. That's pretty awesome when you think about that. Look at your voltages, your balance across this. Just absolutely perfect. This battery BMS is awesome. Look at that, 3.29, 3.29, 3.29, 3.29. That's perfect. Let's look at the shunt real quick just to make a comparison. We've been running 1% difference here. So we'll look at the shunt here real quick, and it's showing the same thing. We're within 1% between shunt and the BMS, so that's pretty good. Now, it's still a pretty crummy, overcast day. We may get a tad of solar in today, and I'm going to let it come in. It's not enough to really replace what we're burning. 52 watts. I don't think that's going to be much of anything. But again, it just shows how a little bit of solar and the behavior of this awesome battery will perform. Okay, we got some more testing to do. So here's my setup that we would have in a breakfast. Again, this is one of the accessory outlets off of our inverter, 2,000 watt inverter. Refrigerator's running right now, so let's look at the app before I get this started. I'm going to do the coffee pot, and then this is a Black & Decker. I think they call this a Brew and Go. I wish they still made these. They make a different version. It's taller. I can't say whether it's good or not, but I bought several of these because I love them so much. And this is my everyday coffee drinker. I use this. It makes a perfect drip coffee. I want to say it's somewhere between 600 and 800 watts. We'll see that. One of these, generic Wally World Hamilton Beach toasters. I normally get me a slice of toast, and then we head down the road. So we'll do that as well. I think this is about 800 watts. I try to run them both and see how it performs, along with the refrigerator going at the same time. I just want to put that pull on that battery and see how it's going to perform. So let's see where we're at battery-wise on the shunt. So here we are on the shunt. We're seeing current, you see what the power is, 79 watts. That's this refrigerator right now. So we're going to go ahead and kick this coffee pot on. And there it goes. And boom, baby, look at that thing jump, 893 watts. So that's refrigerator and the coffee pot running here. And it'll start brewing here in just a second. We'll let it start making some racket. Okay, there we go. And let's go ahead and kick the toaster on and make me a little bit of toast here real quick. And there we go, boys and girls. Look at that thing. Yeah, now, again, this is only a 2,000 watt inverter, so I got refrigerator going. I've got the toaster going, got the coffee pot going. All right, so let's let that go for a few minutes, and we'll just see what the overall performance of this battery is going to do. So you see we've already dropped 2%, so I'm pulling a lot of power off of it. So that inverter right now is screaming. And look at the current on this, 139 amps being pulled out of that battery. Now this battery will support a total of 300 amp discharge. It's even got, this is what's really amazing. Let's say you have something that creates a big peak kick. You know, if you were using this, say, to support, say, a big 3,000 watt inverter, and even specifically, let's say, a job site or something like that, then you know, this thing will take a 900 amp. But I hear the inverter. It's whistling back here. Let's see what's going on with the inverter. Toast is done. Toast is done. Let's see. Yeah, we got toast, so that's good. And we are back down to just barely under 900 watts for the coffee pot, so we'll let that go ahead and finish. The inverter didn't like both of these going on. That's not a problem with the battery. Let's look here where we're at 71 amps coming out of the battery, and still, you know, this thing's going to finish. Think about this. We've been running quite a while. A lot of refrigerator, TV all day yesterday, all those types of things. Man, and no solar yesterday. It was, you know, like dark 30 all day long, and we're going to have just a trickle today. Okay. All right, we're going to let's let the coffee pot finish. Then we're going to bring the slides in and then see what like a 7-8 hour tow looks like. How about that? Okay, this has been going on a while today. Let's go ahead and get these lights on. Get these slides out. Ton of battery left. Hardly any voltage sag at all. Looks fantastic. Get the big heavy slide out. That's pretty incredible. 8:30, almost 8:30 now. Started this yesterday at about 11:30, something like that. Yesterday was terrible as far as light, sunlight, those types of things. I hardly got any solar at all. If it was much, it couldn't have been but a handful of amps. It was not enough to mount to anything. Today I checked on it 2 or 3 times. There was about 2 or 3 hours. We had about 50 watts. It was going between 40 and 50 watts. It didn't last long. Again, heavily overcast. And of course now, here it is 8:30 at night. Wow, I think I proved the point. There's no use going any further, even though the battery's sitting over 40% after, what is this, 30 plus hours, more than that, running TVs for 5 or 6 hours, electronics, sound bars, making breakfast this morning with the toaster, coffee, running slides in and out, you know, for the power it takes to do that, you know, in the tow. And then running a long tow today with the refrigerator running the whole time. I will mention this about the GE. It's I love to hate it. I don't know if that makes sense. It is a little sensitive to humidity and kind of freezes up in the fans a little bit, makes a little racket from time to time. But on the positive side, and it's incredibly efficient in the minor amount of watts that it uses, even when it's running. So, you know, kudos on Montana picking that for its efficiency. I just wish that it wasn't so humidity sensitive. So I guess you have to take the good with the bad, huh? So I think I proved the point. Did the battery get damaged at all in 2 weeks of low 20s, even a couple days in the teens? The answer is no. No diminished value in this Epoch 300 amp hour V2 battery. It is a beast. It is a beast. I am so very happy with this. Now, I will mention this. Epoch did send it to me and asked me to evaluate it back in November. I did so then, if you saw that video. And we have used it some since then. And it has been our mainstay since November, and we're almost at the end of February now. We're getting very close to that. So thank you, Epoch, for being able to provide that. Look, if you're interested in having one of these very heavy-duty lithium batteries with all kinds of features, the Bluetooth, the heater, low temperature disconnect, it even has that Victron comms if you're running you know, a high-end Victron system to where you can connect your monitoring devices to that. You can do that as well. So it has all those features. And then aside from this, even if I would have broke it, I would have called them up. It's got an 11-year manufacturer warranty on it, but it didn't break. It just held up incredibly well. I don't know what else I could have done to it today. I mean, I stressed it out with the inverter. It is just absolutely fantastic. So I will put links in today's description of the video. I know this was long, but again, I wanted to prove the point. This thing really works. And I'll also have a blog out there at ilovervlife.com. And look, if you're interested in finding more information about all the things, places we travel, campgrounds, fun things to do, we're getting ready to start traveling here in about 3 weeks. Looking forward to that. It's been too long. We're all healthy now and ready to go. So we'll have some more of that content here in the very near future. We've got a few more things that we're going to be sharing, some fun things that we'll be doing as far as products and those types of things. And then I'm looking forward to travel. Oh my gosh, all the way through December this year. We are going to have a lot of fun. So if you like this type of stuff, please give me a thumbs up. If you hadn't subscribed, I wish you would do so. Hit that little bell. You'll get, a little ring when new content comes on. I thank you so much. I hope you appreciate these types of things. You know why I do it? Of course, it's because I love RV life. Hope to see you in the campground soon.